There's no end to Lost Ark's rich story, detailed quests, and engaging characters. Arcasia is a massive and mysterious world, under attack by powerful demonic forces who are trying to find the Ark, a powerful artifact that keeps the universe in balance. Kazaros, Lord of the Abyss, wants to use the power of the Ark to escape his volcanic prison and blanket the world in darkness.
Alright, now first of all, because, well, simply, right now this game is actually the most folks are waiting for. Lost Ark, a Korean MMO ARPG that's been out for quite a while, actually a few years, is now finally making its way to the Western territories come February 11. You know what, Diablo-like would be the perfect word to describe this one. Just one look at the looting system and it brings everything back. There's tons of dungeons in this game, the kind you wouldn't want to start playing unless you're ready to give up hundreds of hours. So check it out, here's another trailer folks at the company just came up with.
Venture into deadly cinematic dungeons to take on Arcasia's greatest threats. Once you've conquered Arcasia's dungeons, put your skills to the test by surviving endless waves of relentless enemies in Chaos Dungeons. Or hunt and vanquish Lost Ark's most powerful raid bosses for a shot at big rewards. Put your skills to the ultimate test in 3-on-3 player versus player combat. PvP arenas create a level playing field, allowing you to customize your stats and abilities for the perfect loadout. And defeat other...
Coming up next, one of the lesser known IPs of the past few months, Spark in the Dark is what's described as a hardcore dark fantasy dungeon crawler. Not just any kind of dungeon crawler, but one that is endless. That's what developers being specific about. It's also as it's custom with the genre, a action adventure RPG, and like most games do, out for PCs only. Now check this out. A release window for this one is yet to be announced in the coming months. V-Rising is an open-world, multiplayer will come to mention, Diablo-like survival game in which you play the role of a vampire. Now, is this a friendly vampire we're talking about? No, you literally have to survive by killing, gather resources, gears and stuff, level up, and eventually build your own castle to become the vampire lord. Now check it out. V-Rising is one of the good ones, definitely looking forward to this one personally, however, a release date for it is still yet to be announced.
I have met him doing my camp patrol near the North Rope Gate. He just came at us like a raging bull.
Achilles Legends Untold from only a few months back, when it was initially revealed to be a, well, Diablo-like, skill-based action RPG game with resource management in which you play the role of Achilles, went to come our way once again no more than just a day ago with the update that we're getting this closed beta for the game tomorrow, that's January 27th, in addition to the game's story trailer, including of course more gameplay. It's a good one, take a look.
Warriors have I redeemed to dread of another Greek sword-bearer. My pride was my doom, as I have never witnessed so smart, deft, and cunning warrior. This is how we fought, and this is how we died. Only the dead can share the untold legends of Achilles.
Among ancient ruins, evil grows once more. The seed of corruption advances, spreading dread and despair. We must give chase.
Now, Path of Exile has, well, for those of you not new, been out for almost 8 years now. It's also from a really small company. The new game, however, Path of Exile 2, which was set to release in early 2022, now actually has a rumored 2023 release window. That's words of its developers apparently, not sure, but there is this. A beta for the game is actually gonna happen sometime really soon. Check it out, well, for those of you new, this is how the game actually looks like.
These sands hide countless secrets. 3,000 years of dormant malevolence. We must hunt down the seed and put an end to this madness. If Rayclast is to survive.
Killed your son cold. Time to dig up them shooting irons. The town, flesh eaters were here. Time for some persuasion. How you gonna play this out? Clean and quiet? Or something more resolute?
Well, Digital developers, by the way, just dropped the new teaser for Weird West, showing off more combat for once in addition to the news that the game is now set to drop on the Xbox One, the PlayStation 4 and also PCs March 31st. What is it? This is an action RPG, of course, with probably all the right Western setting and a stealth element, partially a simulation game as well. I'd have to say actually a really good blend, and one that's been developed for more than 3 years now. Take a look.
Something a bit less conventional and bring the West to its knees. Regardless, if you want to survive, you're gonna need to experiment. Use the land to your advantage. Bend the West to your will. Or shoot, become your own force of nature and bring the West to its knees. This here, it's just a sampling of what's in store. Your actions, they'll inspire tall tales. Tales of brutality, of the occult, the perverse. When they gather around the campfire, they'll speak your name and tremble.
You can visit a merchant to buy magic gems to enhance your weapons, but we don't need any of them now.
Moving on, there's Alaloth or Alaloth, Champions of the Four Kingdoms, which is expected to come out in just a couple of months from now on into the PCs, the PlayStation 4 and also the Xbox One, including the Nintendo Switch. This game is described as a high fantasy RPG focused on skill-based gameplay and a real-time combat system. This is how the game looks like, just make sure to stay tuned for that precise release date soon.
When you approach an enemy, they won't see you immediately. You can use skills to gain an advantage in combat, just like that. Our champion is an elementalist who follows the way of nature, so we can wreak havoc with available skills.
Alright, take a look at Gimel, arc like Vake, Saga, but what's described as you can see an isometric action RPG and inspired by Norse mythology. Now, this game is in development for PCs only, with its release date yet to be announced. Well, you know what, not much to say, here's the game's reveal trailer and you can go and get ready for an adventure in a world full of dangers. That's developer's word, not mine. Anyway, this is how the game actually looks like.
It's your Huger. Discover your destiny. Face the dead armies. And mend the broken prophecy. Only you can defeat Arch Ludwig.
Our world is at its end. Our plants are dying, and we are starving.
We have Gatewalkers on the other hand, another one of those games that's finally coming out soon and targeting both consoles and PCs. It's basically a survival action RPG inspired top-down game, albeit with a unique blend of action and co-op, also playable in single player and with up to 4. Actually, there's a demo available for this game on Steam right now, and here's another trailer in case you actually missed this.
We are not always welcome there, and can only survive if we stand together. We must bring back new life to our dying home.
Alright, definitely one of the games that caught our attention last year, if we're talking Diablo-like games, was Beta Lost Haven. An action RPG by Team 17 and Stormwind Games. It's pretty good tool, by the way. The game's description page also says that it combines hack and slash and a twin-stick shooting element in a non-linear, story-driven scenario. Now check this out. This game is coming out in just a few months from now and into basically all platforms. Now here's probably one of the most crazy ideas out of any kind of game, but what if the players could turn from their human forms into animals and then ride each other around? Well, you get what's called Caridden, an upcoming co-op action RPG for up to 4 players at a time. The Kickstarter campaign for Caridden is set to come out way soon, and a release date will soon follow after. Now check it out, here's what this whole thing is actually about. And last but not least, of course, big shout out to Diablo fans. We have Diablo 4, which is right now the most ambitious and the best Diablo game to date, or at least what Blizzard's describing it as. But since the game is still deep in development and doesn't yet have a release date, we're gonna have to just come back to this one a little later. But just in case you've missed out on this, guys, this is the last gameplay trailer the folks came up with just a month ago in the news that the game will actually release in 2023 and into the PCs and also consoles as well. Check it out.